Welcome back to At the End of the Day podcast. I'm Dr. Cameo Carter. I'm a board-certified pediatrician and full-time practicing pediatrician. I have a private practice in Redlands, California. And each day I end my workday sharing stories from the exam room that affects my patients, affects our community, affects families, and health in general, and do a little bit of a reflection on the things that kind of rise to the surface as I'm thinking about the day as it ends. And today I want to talk about something that's really been weighing on me as a physician, and that I deal with on a nearly daily basis. When insurances are crossing the line and providing care and essentially practice medicine without a license. So it's the physician's job to take care of the patient, and it's insurance job to help pay for that. And realizing that we need to follow practice guidelines and recommendations, absolutely. But deciding that they want to make their own criteria for what they cover outside of what organizational bodies have determined to be best for kids is inappropriate. And it's causing a lot of extra work for physicians. It's causing a delay in care. It's causing there to be discrepancy between who gets care and who doesn't. So first of all, practicing medicine without a license, what is that? In principle, it's making medical decisions in the absence of medical training and without being the caregiver. And I think that's really an important part, because when insurance companies are evaluating whether something should be covered or not, they are saying that they have a peer in medicine. So it should be somebody that is in your specialty or has like your level of expertise that is weighing in on your decision. Now, the thing that doesn't is that person's not there knowing that patient. While they can look at a few data sets, they're not examining the patient. So I think that's really important. And but I think the thing that's really critical, it's also practicing medicine with a license. Really, you conclude in that denying evidence-based care that a licensed physician prescribes. So I think there's two important points here. One is that if it's following standardized protocols, our recommendations do, then it's something that should be covered. Additionally, physicians have extensive training. And so there are some things in medicine that really don't follow exactly an algorithm, exactly a flow sheet. And I think that one of the things that physicians are able to do because of our knowledge in physiology and pathophysiology and all of that is that we can also take into account everything about that patient's presentation and also make really good recommendations that are safe, that are guided by good science, that maybe don't follow exact algorithms. Because patient care isn't always exactly clean and dry. So we should absolutely be following protocols, but also be able to treat patients who are following outside those algorithms a little bit too. And, there's real life stakes here. It's not just about the numbers. These are young people's. In my case, I see birth through college age. These are young people's lives, and it's setting up really their health trajectories. So a patient that I had today, I've been working with for a while. They're a young adult. They've been really struggling with obesity. They're a class 2, approaching now class 3 obesity. They have insulin resistance. They have PCOS. They have hyperlipidemia. They have, we're getting ready to do a sleep study to see if there's some obstructive sleep apnea also. We have had treatment attempts where we have tried diet and exercise. We have tried other oral medications. We've tried metformin. And these have all failed, and things are spiraling or worsening for her. And what's amazing is that we have come up with really wonderful medications that exactly help the issues that she has, and can really help prevent the whole series of problems that start to occur after this. And so I've tried a couple of different medications to get through to the insurance, and they have denied both. They've denied Wegovy, they've denied Zepbound. She meets criteria. She's old enough for either one of these, meets standard guidelines, and insurance has denied it, and they've denied the appeals. And so I've spent a significant amount of time doing prior authorization, and then when we got a denial, I did an appeal letter. And their response is really interesting. They're saying that insurance denial reason for these medications is that it's only covered if for secondary prevention after a heart attack, stroke, etc. Again, she's a young adult. Thank God she hasn't had a stroke or MI yet. And she has to have had something like that, or have proven plaque deposits in her arteries. And so having symptoms like claudication, like pain in her limbs, have a bypass surgery, or have had to have an amputation because these things occurred. I have to prove that other causes of obesity have been ruled out. And I've asked them to explain what that would be, because I've done full labs and a full workup, so I don't know exactly what they're asking me to prove here. And they say that this is not an approved medication for primary prevention. And basically, it just doesn't make any sense, because she actually meets a medical criteria for one of these medicines. It's absurd. They are a young adult. They are having metabolic risk factors that are just piling up. Waiting for a heart attack or a stroke or an amputation or something is insane. That's not prevention. And a big part of pediatrics is in prevention and preventive health. We spend so much time doing that from such a young age. That's a big portion of our well visits. They're talking about preventative medicine. So if we're only going to approve these medications after the fact, that's just damage control. That's not preventing it. As the treating physician, I know their history. I have documented it. I know their labs. I know the struggle they have. I know the psychological aspects that are affecting them. I am trained and licensed to make medical decisions and to follow appropriate treatments and guidelines. The insurance company doesn't know the patient. They haven't examined them, but somehow they're overriding my judgment. And it's kind of these blanket things that aren't even explaining what that means. And to try to get somebody to talk to me about it is virtually impossible. And then, like, where am I supposed to find the time to do that? I mean, I do that. We'll wait out on hold. One of my staff has to wait on hold, and they'll come pull me out of a room. But it is ridiculous. And so I really think that insurance companies are practicing medicine without a license. They are interfering with patient care, and that's not what they're designed to do. They're not designed to be money-making entities. I mean, of course, every business needs to be able to pay people and to run a business. I mean, it's not, it's not like they should, lose money. I mean, we can get to the whole discussion another time about healthcare in America and really how it needs to be different. But in this specific case, this is not in a patient's best interest. So the big issue here is, like, these denials are being framed as following criteria, but in reality, they're medical decisions. And that's not what insurance companies should be doing. It really creates a lot of inequity, because what happens is then the parents or the families or individuals who have the means to pay, up to $1,000 a month can do that, but other people can't access care. And why, when we have these published and studied guidelines, should there be that inequity? It undermines the trust in medicine, and it's really discouraging to physicians. I mean, the amount of time and effort that we put in, and then to have just these arbitrary rules are just so insanely frustrating, and it's demoralizing. Primary care is leaving in droves, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but this is really one of them. So, really the question is, who should be making medical decisions? The physician who knows the patient, or the insurance company who never met the patient and is making record profits year after year. So this is something that I'm just really frustrated about every single day. And this is not just in this category of medicine. We can go into every system, and I'll probably share some of those with you because it is insane to me what we're up against. And I just want to encourage you that if you have similar situations, speak up. We have less and less power as individuals in our country these days. We still have our voice as long as we can. We need to speak up about it. Write appeals. Physicians are strung out. We have more work to do than we have time to do it. But we want to. We will keep coming to the table and fighting for our patients. We're advocates by nature. See what you can do to also help in the appeal process as a patient. Advocate for yourself too. Contact your insurance commissioners. I have a template that I give my patients about who to contact, what the issues are, so that they can, so I can help them do that. Talk to your legislators. We need to demand that the things that we pay for, the things that are there supposed to help us, should actually do just that. And share your stories. So at the end of the day, my patients deserve better than what they're getting. They deserve care that is based on medical policy and not corporate policy. And physicians deserve to be able to treat their patients with the top-notch medical care, and not be restricted in what we're able to provide for our patients. So thanks for listening today. We'll see what's coming up next. I don't know until my next workday. At the end of the day, our kids, all of us deserve better. And so let's just keep fighting for it.